I wanted to take a look at the Urban Crow Oracle cards by MJ Cullinane. She does some amazing energy with the crows. So I wanted to take a look at that and just cards. We'll do past, present, and future spread and see where we are kind of with that. So things of the past that are still affecting you, kind of a current energy card, and the things of the future that are affecting you currently. So how are you guys doing? I'm doing great. I think after this I'm going to go for a walk the dog, walk the kids, get out of the house. It's finally good weather. I'm really looking forward to the Stara, the spring equinox, and all of those things. My kids are 1/4 Persian, so they do the Nuruz on the 20th for the New Year, and so that's a great time for the Persians as well for the Persian New Year. Okay, so let's take a look at the energies of the crows. Okay. Okay, so we have distance, self-interest, and survival. Oh, I've seen self-interest and survival, but not distance before. And then underneath, the underlying energy is teamwork. Oh, that's cool. So let's take a look. So the underlying energy, the kind of thing you may not be as clear about, know about, kind of like that moon energy, high priestess type of thing, is teamwork. So working together. And here you can see in this case, they're kind of all working together to get the predator away from them and away from their babies, away from their nests, and pushing the hawk away. And they do it in a team effort. And so that is the teamwork that's involved for them. Okay, so let's take a look at let's do the energies of the present first. So self-interest. So there are times when you need to take care of yourself. So you might, in this case, they've caught the mouse. Whatever has happened, they have decided they need to take care of themselves first, and more than anyone else. And there are times when you need to look after your interests, yourself, and your needs, and it's not being selfish, because it's just something that needs to be happening in your life. So let's take a look in the book for self-interest. Okay. Make sure you can see this well. Okay. These days, I have noticed about 4 regular neighborhood crows visitors. I haven't seen Brave One in a while, who I recognize by his massive head. There is one crow that seems a bit more selfish when it comes to the food I put out, while the other crows take their turn grabbing a nugget or two of the dog food I leave out on the plate. There is one who will shove as much into his mouth as possible, not caring if there isn't a single crumb left for the others. Self-interest indicates that you may be looking out for only your own interests. And as a result, others will be impacted. On the flip side, be aware of the actions taken by those around you, as sometimes they may come in and take more than their fair share. Okay, so in this case, this self-interest is bringing that idea. So it could be that you are looking too much to your own self, your own needs, and not to those of others, Or it could be that you are allowing others to steal what is yours. So how are you going to know the difference? How are you going to know whether, the self-interest that you have is appropriate, or if it's too much and you're kind of like overbearing with it? So the way that you're going to know the difference and know it is by listening to your inner self, to your intuition, to your heart. And as you listen to that higher self, it will become very clear to you over time, um, where things lie. If other people are taking too much, you'll be able to feel it or to sense it, to know that you need to preserve and protect yourself. And at the same time, you'll have that sense inside yourself of what you need to be giving to your family and to those around you and to yourself. So, in this current situation here today, as we're doing the reading on Sunday, for some of you, this may resonate. There's something in your life that you're having to bring into balance when it comes to self interest. Not being selfish, but also not giving away too much. And so, learning how to balance that in your life. So, that is the first step. I was just looking at this and I'm like, I think I can turn that down. You can see this a little better. Okay, that's good. So, the things from the past that are influencing the current situation is this distance card. So, you can see, there's the sun in the distance, there's all the houses in the distance. We're looking out. He can see a long direction, a long perspective. So, let's see what this card is, with a message here for us. Okay. All right. To get the lay of the land, sometimes you need to take a look from a distance. Distance indicates that you would be best served by taking a step back so that you can see the big picture. You may be focusing too rigidly on one, um, on while there is a whole world out there to explore. So you might be focusing on one little thing rather than the big picture. So this card is pulling us to the concept of the big picture. So it could be that in the past you've taken an opportunity to step back, to look at things from a bigger way, and that is benefiting and helping you now in your current situation. So, attempting to look at your life and to balance these energies of interest and how to take care of yourself, but I'm not also to be too selfish. So somewhere in between there, having taken a step back and looked at the big picture is really going to have helped you in making this decision. So it may be that in this current past, things that have just happened for you, maybe in your career, in your relationships, something in your life, you've had to look at things more from a larger perspective, and that big picture look is helping you in your current situation. So now let's look at the survival. So in the future, it looks like many of you will kind of start to feel like maybe you've stepped back for too long, or you've had an energy of trying to be self-interest for too long, and you're kind of stuck in a situation and you're just trying to survive and you're just trying to get out of it. So one of the things that I really feel, this is another card where I actually talked about this one on TikTok, and the thing I was talking about in Spiritual Rebirth Tarot on TikTok, if you are on that, come check me out. So, this bird is in this really precarious position and he can't fly out of here. On the other hand, here we have the beautiful fox and the energy of the fox and the wily and the creative. And so the bird, do you want to be the bird or do you want to be the fox? And I feel like in the future you can kind of choose, who are you going to be and where are you going to be. And I think that has a lot to do with maybe not getting yourself in a position where you can't take care of yourself properly, and it's hard to survive. And so self interest is going to help you not get in this situation, but rather to be in the situation of the fox. So let's do this. Let's, oh, and then the underlying was teamwork. So as you're stepping back and you're taking a look at the big picture, look for your team. Look for those people that are going to help you to get the interest that you need, the direction that you need in your life to be able to survive these things. And to, as you're stepping back and looking at the big picture, look for this team that is there for you. So I'm going to pull a few more of her cards in the tarot deck that she has, Guardians of the Night, and just get a little more clarification. So first of all, self-interest. Let's pull 3 cards. Five of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Seven of Wands. And the underneath is the World. So, that changing of kind of like going into the next cycle or the next phase. So the thing that you may not know as clearly is that you are entering a new phase. And so it may be important for you to do that distance, take a step back, so that you can avoid getting into the situation. Okay, so when we look at this self-interest, should we be more self-interest, or are we being too selfish? The first card, she's doing the opposite. She isn't looking at the big picture. She's coming in very, very close. Not seeing all the swords around her, not seeing all the buildings, just eating the grass and just, feeling that energy. So it's kind of like a lack of clarity. And the card itself, the Five of Swords card, I often think of as a choice card. You can either choose to be like, hey, I'm the victor, or hey, I lost the war. So it's kind of your choice. You can decide which side you're on. And so she's deciding, this deer is deciding, I guess it's a he. I'm sorry. It does say antlers. Yeah. So it's a he, unless it's a reindeer, because reindeers, both men and women, have antlers. Anyway, so he is focused on what he's doing, on what he's eating. And so in a way, he's made a decision that he's the victor. All of these other things around him are not affecting him in this situation. And so, other people might say to you, you're being selfish. You're looking out for yourself and you're being selfish. Just be this deer. Just, he knows that he's in the right. He's doing what he needs. Take care of yourself. Those energies. You're a goddess. You are this wonderful person. Whether you're a male or a female here in this world, your beautiful energies of love and happiness and joy and peace in this card. A lot of happy energy coming out. And then in this Seven of Wands, you can see, there's a lot of challenges coming, and he has everything it takes to say, you know what, I'm victorious. So again, it's this energy that, no matter what you're doing, people might be saying to you, you know what, you're not in the right place, you're not doing the right thing. You're like, no, I'm standing my ground. I am who I am, and I, will be that successful, victorious person. So the Seven of Wands, he's being victorious, but he's still having to have that courage and fight that battle. And so that's where you're at. You're looking after yourself and your own You're standing up for yourself and your own. You are being, the god and goddess that you're intended to be. And so, in those energies, in the recent past, let's look a little bit more at distance and see what comes out. All right, so we have, the wrong deck. Sorry. I kind of was thinking something felt a little too easy. Like there weren't enough cards. Okay. All right, so 5 of Cups. So we had the 5 of Swords. Now we have the 5 of Cups. So that's interesting. 5 of Cups, Ace of Wands, and the Empress. Ooh, I love these 2 cards together. See? Have the energies of the foxes. So take a look at the message that came out in the TikTok. There's a TikTok that has those 2 cards in it. And it's a really cool message. Anyway, so for today, the message that's coming out, this is going with the distance. So yeah, she's going the distance. She's doing what's necessary. She is doing what's necessary for Young, and she's seeing the big picture. She's looking around, seeing what's going on all around her. And so, this is not seeing the big picture. You don't see the happy cups. You only see the ones that are down. Or again, it's kind of the choice card. Are you going to see these happy moments, or are you only going to see the sad and difficult parts? And then the Ace of Wands, saying there's so much opportunity for you to look for. So one of the things I'm kind of, so there's a moth. There's a spider that almost looks like it's flying. And there's a moth. So I think that we're being drawn to the moth in this. So in the past, seeing the big picture, and like part of the big picture for me with a moth is, okay, if you are a little caterpillar and you're going around eating the food, and then you go into a cocoon and you go through the cocoon stage and you come out the other side, you want to be what? A butterfly. Oh, you became a moth. In other words, the big picture is that both of them are just as much of a miracle. It's just as much of a miracle that a moth has been created as that a butterfly was created. It's just as magical of a happening. It's just that we tend to talk more about butterflies. We often like the aesthetic of a butterfly, maybe a little more than that of a moth. We see moths, they come out at night and they like bang on lights and, try, kind of are a little bit more focused and aggressive. So, stepping back, looking at things from a new perspective, that maybe everyone is okay in their own way. Some of us turn into moths, some of us turn into butterflies, but we all are going through the transformation. So looking at, standing back at a distance, looking at things from perspective of individuality. And so that will help you when you go to having to fight for yourself and for your own self-interest. And then the survival. Let's see what the message is with the survival card. I don't know what I'll do if I start getting people on my lives. Okay. All right. 9 of Wands. Four of Pentacles. We have another fox again, and justice. This time it's a bat. Justice. So that balancing. Underneath is the Two of Wands, balance. So, well, there's a fox in two of these. The fox there and then fox here. So in the future, if you're not careful, you're going to be in a little spot that you don't want to get out of. Or you're going to be the one rooting around, for that tasty morsel. So again, he's rooting around for the tasty morsel, trying to avoid the thing that could really hurt him, right? And be a bad thing for him. So he's, the fox is, avoiding this. So you're avoiding a difficult situation. Here you're avoiding being this, crow being caught in this thicket. Here you're the fox avoiding the porcupine interaction. So you're trying to avoid these problems that might be occurring. Here, this card is the energy of trying to keep everything under control and not being able to keep in control. So again, the future has this concept of feeling out of control. So something about being out of control in the future is affecting you currently. And so really what you're being drawn to is the concept of balancing your energies, the known and the unknown, balancing the things that are in the world and the things that are not of this world. Excuse me. And then also justice, the Libra card can also be pulling you to concept of actual legal activities. So it could be that you're in the near future, you're dealing with some kind of a legal issue that you could end up feeling very stuck. And the most important thing right now is to look after your own self-interest. That's a message for me, because I do have a legal issue coming up fairly soon. And looking out for your own self-interest sometimes is the way you have to come across in order for things to turn out right, both for you and for the other party. Okay, so this is a pretty cool message that we have coming out. The crows are kind of telling us that right now, for a lot of you, really looking after your own self-interest is going to help you in the future to get out of a difficult situation. That might be, for some of you, a legal situation. So thank you for coming to the reading. So nice to have you guys here. And I will see you again very soon on this channel. Take care.